You would be with our elderly, keep them healthy. Pray that you would be with Brad, our finance director, as he takes a new job. I pray that you would give him safety as he travels and good transition in that. Bless him as he undertakes this new endeavor. Pray that you would give us wisdom this day, this evening. Help us to do everything in a way that is pleasing to you. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
Roll call, Vicky, please.
Okay, Commissioner Heffernan,
Here.
Commissioner Van Alstine,
Here.
Commissioner Scola,
Here.
Commissioner Rubin,
Here.
Commissioner Hellwig.
Here. Thank you, Vicky. All right. Okay. Okay. All right. Sheriff's with us. Hello, Kevin. Good.
Morning, or good afternoon, everyone. Hope everybody's doing, I'm used to having the morning one, so apologize for that. So, what a great day. Thank you, Commissioner Rubin, very nice. For the prayer for our 5 deputies, fantastic. They have been extremely busy. So as you know, we got the 5 new deputies out of the academy, so thank you very much. That was, very, very nice. I want to do something here for 2 of my dispatchers. And you would please come up, you know who you are. Officer Ball, Officer Mitchell. Just gonna read something here. Stand right over here, sir. I know you don't like this, but just for about 15 seconds. All right. This is very extraordinary. We gather to celebrate a truly extraordinary milestone. 30 years of dedicated service from 2 exceptional individuals in our 911 center dispatch family, Jeremy Ball, Tamara Leach. 30 years, that's more than just a number. That's over 3 decades of calm voices in the chaos. Steady hands, guiding help to where it's needed most. It's thousands of shifts, countless emergencies, and immeasurable lives that have been touched. And through it all, Jeremy and Tamara have shown up, not just in body, but in spirit, in commitment, and in their heart. In this line of work, the public often hears our first responders. They hear the sirens that boots on the pavement. But what they don't always see is the lifeline behind the scenes. The voices that answers the call when panic sets in, the ones who stay composed when everything else feels like it's falling apart. For 30 years, Jeremy and Tamara have been those voices. Jeremy, your reputation for level-headedness, your mentoring of younger dispatchers, and your unwavering reliability have made you a cornerstone of the center. You've been a leader in the quietest and most impactful way. And I appreciate it. Thank you. Tamara. Good? All right. Your compassion on the line, your tireless work ethics, and your ability to make people feel heard, even in their worst moments, has saved lives, not just in the physical sense. Sometimes knowing someone is truly listening is the first step towards survival. Together, you represent the very best of what it means to serve, both of you. You've been the calm during the storm, the hope in the midst of tragedy, and the bridge between emergency and response. On behalf of all of us at the Sheriff's Office, your coworkers, your leadership team, your community, you've helped protect, and wanted to say thank you from the bottom of my heart. You guys are amazing. Thank you for your sacrifices, birthdays, holidays, sleepless nights you've given up to serve our community. Thank you for your grace under pressure, and thank you for reminding us that heroism doesn't always wear a uniform. Sometimes sits quietly in dispatch chairs with the headset on, changing lives one call at a time. Jeremy, Tamara, congratulations on 30 years of incredible service. You made your mark, and we're all better for it. Here's to you, your legacy. I appreciate it.
Who's gonna take it? Yeah. Oh, together or separate?
Whatever you want. It's up to you. Yeah. Okay, real quick, thank you guys for bearing with me. I'll make sure that was completed.
I mean, those two guys predate us, Kevin.
Pardon me?
Those two
They do.
predate us
Absolutely. One year on me.
by 1 year.
1 year.
Yeah.
So that's a long time.
Yeah.
Long time.
Yeah.
One more thing I wanna introduce is Detective Martin, and this is Zeke, our new canine.
Get that nice dog.
He's not sure about that. So, and thanks to the commissioners for allowing us to pick up another canine unit. Zeke is actually by a lot of actually majority of his budget is donation from the community. And Detective Martin is working extremely hard to see. Detective Martin also works in our DV as doing a lot of our drug intervention, and he's doing an amazing job.
No, I just appreciate the commissioners for the opportunity that they have.
Very nice dog.
Support with the donations right off the bat, and we finished Hannah School May 30th, and the second in the job he was finding, he found some parole serve, so he's doing well.
Awesome. Thank you.
Good dog.
Appreciate it. You guys have a tough decision, so, and you guys are gonna do a great job, so. The thing I do ask of the board is, if you guys can get all your collective data together, and you know, if you could possibly look at getting an architect and the construction manager, so we can start working with them, that'd be fantastic. Just think about that. I know it's a tough decision. And I have made it very clear in the past, and I made it clear at our ad hoc meeting, that I feel this should go to the public. They should be the ones to make this decision on a ballot. Any questions? Thank you.
Thanks, Kevin. Have a good night. Hey, is there any public comment this evening? Yes, ma'am.
My name is Sally Foley, and I'm a resident of Antrim County, very proud of that. Do you all remember the birthday party game called Telephone, where one person starts, they whisper to the next person, and the next person, it goes all the way around, and at the very end, the last person gets to speak and tell what the message was. And of course, the delight of everybody is that it's always garbled and somehow twisted around. But in Antrim County, we've had a problem, I think, and it's about misinformation and misinformation. And it's like a telephone game gone bad. The messages about our safety center have been mixed up, and the message got garbled. So we know that the state of Michigan says we have a jail and it has to be updated. And a millage proposal last year was defeated. So fast forward to a few months ago, and a friend called me, and she had just signed a petition to get funding for the jail. And she had this guy's name who had entered, had the petition and his phone number in case I wanted to call him and sign too. But what he told her was this: Antrim has not explored all the options. The state of Michigan has money to pay for this. Sign this petition so that we can go after those funds. So she signed, and so did a lot of other people. But they signed because of bad information. Antrim County had already searched this. The funds are available only to those counties who follow the recommended guidelines for what to pay our safety officers. We pay our officers less than that, so we don't qualify. So after speaking with my friend, I called the number of the guy with the petition. Did he know that the state option had been explored and we really didn't qualify? No, he didn't know that. He told me that I was mistaken. I asked, had he read the website, the amazing Safety Center website at Antrim County, the one with 2 podcasts, a 7-minute video, and a stack of information sheets about every aspect of the project. No, he hadn't done that. So why is this petition valid when photos were signed were actually lied to? I'm not saying malintention, but that they were misinformed. Being a responsible citizen, I think, at 75 is hard. Some folks just throw up their hands and they walk away. We're good people with good kids. That jail is not our problem. And that's also what they said 20 years ago. Being good people isn't a label. It's a working muscle of compassion, a responsibility to each other and to the common good. Being good is hard work, but it's good work to do.
Thank you very much, Ms. Floyd, for telling us. Appreciate it. Anyone else? Absolutely. Our Star Township Supervisor.
I'm here as a citizen, not a supervisor. I'd just like to say, when it comes to this much money, I agree with the sheriff. I think it should be put for the voters. Now, with the appropriate changes that you've made recently, I believe that it would pass. I do. I think it's that you can sell this thing to the people. You can, look, we're making changes, we're doing, if there's a need. We understand that. But there's also concerns about the volume of money for the length of time. I understand that. So I would ask that you would put in front of voters. I really believe that it would pass. And the second thing I would ask is that 2 people were just honored here. In the nearly 35 years for the company I worked for, I was never swung at, spit at, threatened. Please, when you're negotiating, try and be kind. I know it's a long-term expense, but please, these people deserve far more than what they're getting. They really do. So when you negotiate, please just keep that. Thank you.
Thanks, Bob. Anyone else? Okay, being no further public comment, we'll move on. I need a motion to approve the agenda.
As presented, I'll make that motion.
Thank you, second.
I'll support.
Thank you. Move second. All those in favor, please say aye.
Yes.
Anyone opposed? Minutes from June 5th. Before I ask for a motion, I would like to, first page, down at the bottom. Commissioner Heffernan reported that Meadowbrook bond is good until 2030, but it will be paid off in 2027. Will should be maybe paid off. That's a decision still to be made by the Meadowbrook board. So did everyone, is that good? Everyone
I
good with
agree
that?
with that. Yeah,
Okay.
that's what you said.
Thank you very much. Any other corrections? Can I get a motion with that correction?
I'll make the motion.
Thank you. Second?
Yep.
Thank you. Moving second, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Okay, liaison reports. We do have minutes from Public Safety Center Ad Hoc Committee, May 30th. I did see also June 13th were on our desk. Any other liaison reports, Terry?
I am very pleased to announce last night at Grass River Natural Areas Riverfest fundraising campaign. It was a sold out event and it raised over $175,000. The goal was to have 112 to pay off the section 3. And they far exceeded that, and that's a rough number. There's still money coming in that they haven't accounted for yet, but they banged 175 grand out last night. It was absolutely incredible.
That's amazing. Amazing. Thank you. Anything else? Jason? Right, or Jess?
Yeah, the Antrim County Fair is scheduled for August 6th through 9th, and we have a few more kids and a few more animals this year, it sounds like, so come out to the fair. The next fair board meeting will be at the fairgrounds, weather permitting. So just the July meeting will be at the fairgrounds just to look the fences over in the barns and make sure everything is ready for activity.
Thank you. Anything else? Okay. Move on, claims and accounts. Can I get a motion to approve claims and accounts in manner amount of $204,628.31?
I'll make that motion.
I'll support.
Supported question. Cheers.
Brad, number 25, 115,000 for our insurance. Is that about what we were expecting or?
Any other questions?
Number 4 for animal microchips.
Yep.
Is these canine or is this?
I think they're both dog and cat. They're the little microchip, so then, you know, if there's a stray, they can scan them and figure out who the owner is.
Okay, so we provide that service to our like animals that we bring in?
Yeah.
We put that on all
the
animals that come in if they don't already have one, and that way when they get adopted out, that's charged back to the adoption fee and in case they get lost again or we need a
Okay.
record of.
Okay, so this is like when an animal is adopted.
All of the animals that come in before they go back out.
Okay,
But it's part of the adoption. Because
Yeah.
okay, all right, thank you.
All right, then move in second. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Okay, appointments and annual reports. Brandon, unfortunately, had a matter come up, so he isn't able to join us today. So I'm looking for a motion to accept the Antrim County Veterans Affairs report as presented.
So moved.
I'll support.
Thank you. Moved and supported, discussion. All those in favor, please say aye.
Yes.
Opposed? Maintenance Department, these are following are all written submissions only, promotion to accept the Antrim County Maintenance Department's 2024 annual.
I'll make the motion.
Thank you. Second,
Go ahead.
Ray's got it. Second, Ray's got it. Second, Mickey. I moved to second. All those in favor, please say aye.
Yeah.
Yes.
Anyone opposed? Animal Control, the promotion to accept the Antrim County Animal Control 2024 annual report.
I'll make that motion.
Support.
Thank you. Moved by Van Alstine, supported by Elway. All those, Jason, actually, cheers.
Jeremy, approximately 600 some complaints last year. Is that up, down from the year before? Do you know?
I don't know offhand, but I can get you an answer.
And then they issued 400 warnings. And I was just curious, the number of complaints, the number of warnings. You get 1 year, it sounds like a lot, but I don't know how many they had the year or two before, so.
Yeah, I'll get you an answer.
Anything else? All right, moved and seconded. All those in favor, please say aye.
Yes.
Anyone opposed? Emergency management, looking to, promotion to accept the Antrim County Emergency Management 2024 annual report.
I'll make the motion.
Thank you, Jason. Be seconded by
I'll support.
Ray's second. All those in favor, please say aye.
Yeah.
Aye, opposed. Thank you. Moving on, rescission of February 6, 2025 notice of intent resolution. Jeremy has included a memorandum to us. I will make the motion to rescind resolution 09-2025, notice of intent resolution, capital improvement bonds.
Second.
Questions?
Jeremy, do you want to summarize that document that we had? Is that
Yeah.
document that
What it
pertains to
comes down
this?
to is we had two opposing legal opinions, one from our typical civil counsel, one from bond counsel. in an abundance of caution, this doesn't hurt anything, especially at the recommendations that are being presented.
Um, do I need a roll call vote on this? To rescind
It's
it?
just a motion.
Okay, all right, I'm sorry, any other discussion? All those in favor, please say aye.
Yes.
Anyone opposed? Recommendation, Public Safety Center Ad Hoc Committee. Jeremy's included a memo. He was also the chairperson of the Ad Hoc Committee, which concluded their work on June 13th. So I think I'll, first of all, turn it over to you, Jeremy, and go ahead and report to us as the chairperson of the Ad Hoc Committee.
At the time, at least, we took quite a bit of discussion trying to figure out what we could all agree upon. Commissioner Scholar can certainly attest, as well as Commissioner Van Elstein, that it looked like we were going in one direction prior to this last meeting, but we had a lengthy discussion at this meeting, and we pulled back on some of the items. Again, at the time, we had all 8 members agree with significantly adjusted numbers and a new plan that they could get behind it and recommend it to the board, which I gave you a sheet on that last meeting to show you what those numbers that we were looking at, that $27 million project, $18 million bonded. Some of the things that changed in that project, for instance, were not including the demolition of the current jail, which could save up to $500,000, not pulling some money out of 911's fund balance towards their portion of a new facility, bringing up the recommended total from the county not bonded at $9 million. The 27 million is a fairly tight box, one which I was staff and advisors were only comfortable with presenting, largely because we needed a relief valve, as it were. If we can't control bids, we can't, and of course, if it's over, we're going to adjust as much as we can and cut wherever we can. But this is an awfully tight box that this would put the county in. And so the only way that we could find relief is with the concept of, if this goes over in our bids and we can't cut anymore, then we could pivot to a gray box or a white box concept, which would be build the entire facility exterior, but only outfit the interior with the jail portion. That way we're setting up the county to deal with the problem, but we may not have the funding necessarily to do it in that moment. A white box is a little bit more equivalent of, we got drywall on the walls and maybe even carpet on the floors, but we don't have any fixtures, we're not outfitting it. A gray box is studs and an exterior concept. I personally was comfortable with that as a way to pivot, because like I said, 27 million is a tight box. 33.5 was I've always presented as worst case scenario for the entire project. In addition to that, the architect that we looked to recommend to this board, if funding were figured out here, had a program that they believed that they could do the same thing, or at least cover our needs with a smaller footprint, which has greatly helped reduce that cost. So that's where we're at. I know there's been some emails since, but we were in agreement, at least at that meeting, 8-0 for the board to move ahead. There was it was fairly split as to recommend to either do a resolution of intent or to put it on November's ballot. In fact, it was almost equally split. There was 3 absolutely for one, 3 absolutely for another, and 2 that were sort of in between. which is why I've presented those two options to you in this as well. I'm gonna leave it there and ask if you guys got specific questions.
Great, and if I may, I mean, it's okay with the rest of the board, I'd like to start, if I can refer to Terry too, right now. Terry and Ray obviously were on the committee as well, so Terry, anything you'd like to?
Just that that was, Jeremy pretty much summed it all up with what he said. But it seemed like another part of that, when we had name of the architect firm that was there, Jeremy, help me.
Adam Marsh was who we were talking about, but the CM firm is the one that actually came to our meeting,
Okay, all right,
which was Crispin.
that's the one. Sorry, it wasn't architect, CM. But they were saying that these numbers are, very vague. But the only way we can get to a better number to know for sure was to get, I think they call it a 30% drawing, architect drawing. So then we know what our exact square footage is and everything that we need to do. It's not a complete drawing, but it's enough that we can get moving forward. It's not something that would be a waste. I mean, it would be a waste, I guess, if we decide we're never going to do anything with the public safety center, which would be a disaster. But if we plan on doing something with it, this is just a step to keep the numbers moving forward so we know what to get. I agree with Jeremy on that. When we got done with the meeting last week, everybody was on board with doing the up to 20 years. There is some contingency money in there. The CM come and talked to us and said that we have in our the bidding thing that we were looking at a 10% contingency. They were saying that it's very possible that on new construction, it would only be 3%. So you take 7% of $27 million, that's a couple $1 million that could come off in it. But until we get bids, we don't know what that money is going to be. So I wouldn't be a bit surprised that if all the bids come true of what we think they are by square footage, we'll be less than that and we'll be in less amount of years. But until we get a drawing, it's a crapshoot.
The ad hoc committee that was formed, I thought at the very beginning, we weren't making any headway. Jeremy came back, I want to say it's 2 meetings ago now, with the reduced amount, which got a lot of people's attention. My concern, and I've said it before, is that, and I know this is like the worst case scenario with the white box, the gray box. If we get to the point where we do start this project, I'd like to finish it. I don't want this to, constantly be coming back to us as a board, increasing the prices, you know what I'm saying? I don't want that. I know that it was pretty evenly split, as far as going, in front of the voters or doing it, like we did last time. And, my whole thought process on this is that the voters need to be involved. This has to be up to them and not 5 commissioners. I hope as a board that we don't make the same mistake that we made on February 6th, because I don't want to be back here again discussing this. So, we all know on this board, this is a huge decision, you know what I'm saying? And I feel more comfortable, I think as a board, we should feel more comfortable to allow the voters to decide this. And that's where I'm gonna leave it.
Thanks, Ray. Jason.
So, I don't know, with that being said, Ray, would we still agree to go ahead with the architect and everything else to get the ball rolling? So at least we can put some more the right info out there, not, I keep getting emails, and every one of the emails, I've only got a couple that are complaining, but everybody has a different number on everything. I still don't know where half these numbers are coming from, so You know, when you're doing a pretty good job putting best numbers you can out there. And then you see somebody email $70 million or something, or 50 today, and I'm like, where's this number coming from? So, but no.
Jason, I mean, are these kind of two separate, I mean, again, I know they're linked, is it two, the way this memo reads to me is it's kind of two separate issues we're looking at here. Because we have to make a decision about whether or not, you know, as Ray said, you know, we do what we did last time, or we put it on the ballot in November. And then the last paragraph that Jeremy also talks about, you may want to, if there's consensus, not even a vote, I think Jeremy's just looking for some direction from us.
Right, I don't have a motion specifically for that
Okay.
on this paper, but I'm also not gonna go through the work of getting more details for you if there's not a consensus that's what the board wants to do. They are different issues, but they are very tightly, I've said before, I'll say it again, I am completely, I've always been about making sure or wanting to make sure, doesn't mean we're always successful, in getting the public involved. If that the best way for that is vote, I'm for that. The only reason I ever push for anything else is because I'm tasked with saving this county money. And if we move forward with this project and don't keep the ball rolling, and we have to wait till November before we hire an architect, we are a year out from an additional year out from being able to get bids out, getting any kind of real construction started. That just comes with an inherent cost. Period. I want to make sure you're aware of that. I am not pushing you one way or the other. But to me, my task has always been trying to save this county money. And when I see it tick up in cost and it increases, that's a red flag to me. But if this board doesn't intend to move forward, I also don't want to spend a penny on a path that you don't intend to move.
Thank you. Jeremy.
So I've also heard many of my constituents that want the chance to vote on this. And I think the mistake that was made before was moving ahead when the voters said no. And I feel like I understand your concern about the costs and that things are getting more expensive, but I feel like we move ahead with spending however much it's going to cost for 30% of the drawings. The people, there's a large section of people that are going to say, we already voted no once. Now you guys are spending money to move ahead before we even get to vote the second time. So I think we're shooting ourselves in the foot if you want it to pass, if you move ahead before you let the people decide. Because I'm not sure they're going to vote. I think it's going to be close. It could go either way.
Thank you. Yes,
Can I clarify what was voted on in November?
please.
Because there's all kinds of misconceptions there. What was voted on was in November was a millage-backed bond proposal, not anything to do with building the public safety center. It was to have we called it an insurance policy of 0.563 mils in case the county could not make its obligation. That was what was the ballot issue was. It wasn't about, we want you to tell us if we can build it or not. It was the cheapest way for us to finance building the public safety center. It would have saved us roughly 3/4 of a point on the bond issue on the interest rate. If we would have had a millage backed bond to it. Chances are we would have never had to apply that millage because the money was actually going to be less than what we're talking about paying now. So the clarification is it was not about building a public safety center. It was working on the way to pay for it the smartest and most economical way we could. That's what the voters turned down.
But at the same time, when there's lots of bad info, my thought is, we need these drawings no matter what. And to give the people something to see, hopefully, and we can get the right information out there, not everybody you talk to, it's something different. I mean, it's our job, right, to make sure the public gets the right info, and I think at this point, we need to really bear down and make sure we do that. And to get, these drawings are gonna give the idea, or people the idea what we want or what we need. It's not even what we want, it's what we need. People say you want, no, we need. I'm not up here because I want a jail, no. We need it, and, it's not an easy decision to make to spend all this money. No doubt. And when people downplay what we go through and make this decision, it's frustrating. Because most of them have bad information. And, I've told, the sheriff, and I've told everybody else, I'm not a salesman. So we need you guys out there explaining what we're doing, what we need, and what we, where we need to go. And I think these drawings will at least be the easy way into showing, that we're not doing this willy-nilly. We need them anyway, no matter what. It might get voted down in November, it might not, but those plans are gonna be good. We haven't been that far, and since I've been on the board, we haven't got this far. So for us to agree, hopefully, on getting some plans, I think it'll make it easier for the public to understand what the county needs, wants. None of us want a jail, but it's our obligation to make sure we spend a lot of money on safety. This is just another portion of it, to keep everybody safe in the county. That's an obligation we have. Not everybody is gonna ever need the police or the jail or anything else, or 911. The ones that do, we have to provide. And it's not an easy, operating costs are one thing, but what's the next one? Safety, right? Probably.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So there you go. I mean, the budget's out there. You can see what we spend on safety already. And when we don't take care of our employees, by having a jail that's subpar, probably I don't even know what you'd call further down than that, because it needs to be taken care of. But anyway, that's my ramble for the evening.
Thanks, Jason. Thanks, Jason. Jeremy.
I just want to point out that this isn't just to keep the ball rolling. This is to give the board more information. The vast majority of capital building projects have a design done before they even start down that road. It wasn't the desire of this board at any point up until now, so that's not the road we took. But you do that so that you have more accurate numbers. Right now, our numbers are based off the square footage and averages. Until you put a design together, you're not going to get remotely accurate information on what that cost would be, because you don't even know where those walls are going, how many of them exactly. That's why you do a design ahead of time. And that's very typical. It certainly gets you a lot closer to understanding what those bids might be than based on average square footage.
I should also point out, because I didn't, that as Jeremy indicated, the board can, of course, postpone either of these proposed motions or any action at all. And I think that's why I let the discussion go on here before entertaining a motion, because we still do have time. The ad hoc committee, and I want to, again, personally thank, again, Terry, Ray, Brad, Jeremy, Kevin. Dale Eschenberg's not here tonight. Richard Frisky's not here tonight. Chuck Johnson isn't here either, but I thank all those folks, and especially the three that aren't here today, because they were complete volunteers. They did not have to get involved in this. The rest of us were kind of attached one way or the other. But anyways, want to get that out of the way. But so we can, because the ad hoc committee did wrap up their work early, basically they had until July 1st. We still do have time. If we want to ponder this some more, talk to some more people. I've had some wonderful conversations with folks in the last week since our packet came out. So just anyways, that is an option for us. That is an option for us as well today. Terry.
My feeling is it sounds like a majority of the board is interested in, and most of the people. Some of the people are interested in having this put on a ballot proposal. And I was concerned with that because you're adding another, per se, 6 months to it. Basically adds $500,000 plus or minus. You got roughly $30,000 to do an election. Victoria, is that about right?
That's about right.
So you're kind of looking at an extra just a number, $500,000 extra to have it on a ballot issue. If we can get to know where we're at with the drawings and stuff, I would be 100% supportive of going forward with having it on the November ballot. If we can have that and then have a direction for Jeremy to put something together for us for the next meeting on getting a 30% drawing. So with that being said, I would like to make a motion to approve the attached resolution 14-2025 Antrim County Public Safety Center bond proposal, which will be is that the right one, Jeremy? For the November ballot?
They actually read the same because
Okay,
it would depend on the resolution.
Second one.
okay,
Um,
for the November, to have it on the November ballot.
I'll
Didn't you
support
have
that.
a resolution number 14 in the last meeting? So this would be 15.
Okay.
I'm just going by what it says on here.
Yes.
Well, the other thing is, I do want a little bit more time with the ballot language, but you guys can pass that today, and if it needs to be edited further, I can provide that. I provide both of these as an example, but
Yeah, that's good. When do we have to have that? So we get it on
We got-
November?
we got to August 12th, so
Okay.
August 7th would be the drop dead, although it'd be much better to do in July in case there were further issues or instances.
But can we agree that we should get some drawings done? Can we agree upon that?
We'll get to that.
We're doing one thing at a time here.
I made that motion that we put it on the November ballot.
Well, I think that's part of the discussion, in my opinion. As you just
Did-
said,
did-
if we can,
Terry made a motion.
We'll get to that.
Did you second?
I did second it, yes, sorry.
No, and, but Jeremy, now, in terms of discussion, Jeremy, I mean, are you comfortable with this motion, or?
Yeah, we've had to change ballot language a number of times. It's not that
Okay,
big a deal. I just wanted you to be aware that might come back, just because I had like 2 hours between the ad hoc committee making a decision and getting something up to this board.
and like I said, we have time, I mean, we have time, we have time, so, I mean, if,
Yeah, my intent wasn't to push you guys to move today. I'm not gonna.
okay. Cheers.
Too late.
I really would like the correct ballot language, and I don't think we're pushed for time right now. I think part of the reason we had a referendum was because we appeared to be in a rush. 70 days after the voters said no, we said yes anyways. So I would move to table this motion until we have the correct ballot language. I think we can have that by the next meeting. And that's my motion.
I'll second that. I'll do a further discussion on the table motion.
I truly don't believe that we are rushing anything. This has been 30 years. I don't believe the word rushing things is the right thing. I mean, we can move forward and say we want Jeremy to get us the information. We're making a commitment to put it on the ballot as everybody pretty much has said, sitting at this table, that it needs to go to the voters. This is our first step to say we need it to go to the voters. Jeremy will bring us the thing at the next meeting, and we can vote on the wording itself to be able to do that. It just gives Jeremy the direction that we need to get going to get the ballot language put together.
Yeah, because we have to vote on it again anyway, right?
So you have to vote on the
Yeah.
ballot language, yes.
Go ahead, Jerry.
I just think that it was told to the public numerous times that we would have, the ad hoc committee would finish by July 1st. It's not July 1st yet. There's some people that still don't know that it's finished. For one. For number two, I would like the correct ballot language in front of us and just vote on it all at once. That's just where I'm at.
Ray,
No
comments, please? No comments?
No, I don't want to hear what it says.
All right, I will, so there's a motion to table Terry's, motion to put this on the ballot. Seconded by Heffron. I'll do a roll call vote on it, Vicky.
Okay, motion to table. Okay, Commissioner Howard,
No,
Commissioner Van Alstine,
No,
Commissioner Heffron,
Yes.
Commissioner Rubin,
Yes.
Commissioner Skull.
Yes.
Right, so, Jeremy, again, you will get us language and, clear, you'll get us language. We'll take up Terry's motion again, in 2 weeks. Yep. Everybody clear on that? Okay, but again, now, Jason, getting to the second, what I think is the second question about about this 30% drawings. So, well, it was intermixed in our other discussion, but comments on the third, other additional comments?
just that, we need to give a consensus to Jeremy one way or the other to go ahead and move forward with getting started on the 30% drawing, so he can reach out to the architect and the CM and start working on this. That expense would come from the money that we have that we are gonna use of that $9 million. We would use whatever the number is of that for this this year, and then once we have that exact bid, then we can go ahead and move forward. But we need to give Jeremy a direction and say, yes, let's go ahead and get started with this. Get us a lockdown quote on how much it's gonna be for 30%, and we can then deal with that and move forward with it. But until we give him some idea of what way we want to go, we're just sitting there basically twiddling our thumbs. So I guess I would ask for the chair to ask for a consensus to go ahead and direct Jeremy to start moving forward with the 30% drawing.
We'll still continue some discussions here before we get to that point, so.
Yeah, thank you.
that's what I said, so I'm not gonna do it again.
Jeremy's
I'm losing my voice.
I don't have specific numbers for you, but expect it around $500,000.
For the 30%
To
about
take-
it.
Excuse me.
Between CM and the architect.
Okay.
To take you back, you had a motion on the floor by Jairus and seconded it by Bill to get actual verbiage. You had that on the floor. That's never been voted on.
Well, that was
The
the,
roll call.
That was a roll call.
Oh, I thought it was to table what Terry said. Okay,
It's a motion to table, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, that's correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
okay,
Okay, Vicky, good?
got it.
Okay,
Good.
okay. I don't know where I left off. Go ahead, Jerry.
oh, real spitball, throw it against the wall numbers, about $500,000.
Okay, all right. Any comments?
And just before you move forward with that, or you think we're gonna have a more accurate number, or?
Yeah, if this board tells me it's interested in going that route, I will nail down those numbers, have quotes for you, and even even start talking about approving contracts, but until then, that's days, hours and days of work, both on my part and on these architects and CMs. They're not gonna want to do it, and I don't want to put it out there if it's not gonna be entertained by the board.
I have constituents that are going to view this as you're gonna ask us to decide in November. But you're moving ahead anyways again. That's just, I'm gonna hear that.
And my comments are the ones that I've made before. We've spent money previously on studies and assessments and well, they're on a shelf somewhere. And then my concern is, I appreciate what's being said about getting a clear picture to the public. I'd love an opportunity in regards to this I'd love an opportunity to communicate with folks in the next couple of weeks on this journey. Do you need an answer on this today? I know you'd like an answer today, but I think this is a big deal because it's $500,000. And if we say, okay, let's go $500,000 to these plans, and this fails in November.
No, I do not need an answer today. No, I would very much rather have clear direction than a quick answer.
And Terry, I'm completely with you in terms of this entire process has not been rushed. It's because it's taken 30 years, right? We're still sitting here, but again, I do feel we have time. I do feel we have some time right now. I mean, and that's why I supported what so I don't know, I'm enjoying the conversations, and believe me, there's been frequent conversations. I've had phone calls and emails from people in the last week since our packet came out, and I love those conversations. And I would love to have the same conversations about committing $500,000 to get a better picture. And would folks understand that and want that? I mean, I'm happy to have those conversations with folks. So I don't know the answer to that. I mean, if I sit here right now, I'm like, $500,000 for something I might not use. I think, as I said to Jason before, I mean, that's a huge risk. A huge risk. So, go ahead, Terry.
So, being that said, let's say we bring it back in July, which will be the next meeting. And we're right where we are right now, and then we go to August, and then we blew our window for November.
No, we're talking about
It's been kicking the can down the road forever, and someday we've got to, pardon the expression, put our big boy pants on and make a decision. Sorry, but that's the way I see it.
no apology necessary, Terry. I look at this, and Jeremy, again, I'm gonna ask you, I look at this as two separate issues. So Terry, I'm not proposing we delay your motion to put this on the ballot past July 3rd. That's when we're gonna take it up again. But the issue of the drawings, we put something on the ballot last November with no drawings. So it can be done. I mean, because we did it. I mean, Jeremy, correct me if I'm wrong. I mean, so now we don't have to have drawings, obviously, because
No, we don't have.
okay. Jason,
We don't have to have them right now, but the public wants a clearer picture. I think I keep hearing that. And hearing that. And how we're gonna give them a muddy picture still. We're gonna put that on the ballot. With no more information than we gave them last time. And they're expected a different result. They need to see our commitment to the county. And I'm sorry, I know it's a lot of money. I'm not downplaying the money. But it's a need, not a want. I can't say that. Keep beating my head against the wall saying that. We're not doing this because, oh, I want to say when I decide not to run again, drive by the jail and go, I built that. I don't care about accolades. It's about being and doing the right thing. for our constituents, whether they realize it, everybody realizes or wants it, or I don't know how to put it into words because it's a tough decision. And, you know, sometimes the public, you know, doesn't have all the info, and I want to give them all the info. I'm trying.
Jason, I think that's great. I hope you give them all the info. Because certainly many of us have been providing that info to our districts and our communities and our townships for a long time. So Terry.
I guess I need a clarification. We're not committing to spending the money for a drawing. We're showing Jeremy that he can go ask these companies to bring us a bid. So we have something to look at, so we know how much money it's gonna cost us to have a 30% drawing. We're not saying we're gonna spend $500,000, because Jeremy just said it's a guess. But until he goes out and tells people, we want to bid on this because we would like to have something so we can look at it as a board and move forward. It'll be another month or another 6 weeks before we have a 30% drawing. At least this way, he can go out and tell the architect and the CM, give us a bid on how much a 30% drawing is, because he'll have direction from the board that we want to know what that number is. That's what we're asking for.
Okay, thank you, Terry. Because Jeremy, I won't forget the time we got parking lot estimates from asphalt companies. So we sent administration to get these estimates. Companies came and gave us estimates, and then we changed our mind and said we didn't want the parking lot paved. And that kind of upset the contractors. And we got a bit of a bad reputation with contractors because they felt like we put them on a fool's run. And isn't that the same thing? I mean, isn't that what you're telling me again, Jeremy? Is
Yeah,
you guys-
that's why I want clear direction from this board, because yeah, those kinds of things definitely do cost this county business and money.
and our reputation that is, so I feel like you're asking us to you're asking us to commit to approximately $500,000. And to go out and to tell these companies, yes, the board has consensus to commit to this. Is that fair?
Yeah.
Right,
I'm not there. Just to be totally honest, I'm not ready to commit $500,000 to more studies when we don't know if the public supports the project. And Terry can say, well, it was for a possibility of a millage, but a lot of constituents in my district were voting on it as a new jail. They saw the language and that's what they voted on. So, I mean, we can argue about how people voted or didn't vote, but my district was pretty big no. And Jason, keep telling people that they have bad information and they're not informed. It doesn't go over well. It's telling people
We
that
had somebody say.
I'm just, my constituents are not stupid. The people of Antrim County are not. They are smart.
If you're trying to say that's what I said,
Jason,
no, he's not gonna say that I'm saying that. I'm saying that we need to get information out. We need to, not misinformed.
All right. Okay, thank you very much. Obviously, we do not have consensus, Jeremy. So that goes without saying, so I think I'm gonna move us on. Because you were looking for consensus on drawings. We don't have those. Jeremy, I don't think there's any objection. If you would, please put this on our agenda for discussion in 2 weeks as well. And we'll move on. Human resources, looking for a motion to ratify the bargaining union agreement between Antrim County and the Fraternal Order of Police representing the Antrim County Sheriff's Corrections, Cooks and Clerical Unit employees for 3 years, 2025, 2026, and 2027. Chairman be authorized to execute the agreement. The finance director be authorized to make the appropriate budget amendments with the funding to come from 101-272-2969 general fund contingency.
So moved.
Thank you.
Or
Supported. Any questions? Thank you, Stephanie. Thank you, Jeremy. It's just a motion, so no questions. All those in favor, please say aye.
Yeah.
Anyone opposed? Thank you. Finance Director, approval of job description submitted to us to place the Finance Department and Director position under the day-to-day supervision of the county administrator and to update the job description as the position is replaced.
I'll make that motion.
It's been moved. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Moved and seconded. Discussion? Jeremy?
Yeah, Jeremy, we had a document on our desk. I don't know what I did with mine, but. Yeah, the one with the red. Can you just highlight? I mean, that's the first I saw of it. So can you just highlight the major changes on there?
I mean, the biggest change by far is putting it under me. Although it's the smallest physical change, but the other changes are really just reflecting what the job has become, like payroll and accounts payable, overseeing that, changing the roles as we pulled those jobs out of the clerk's office, for instance, and then it's working with HR and administration out of those roles. I mean, we've been calling it the finance director for a long time, and I don't recall the last time that we called it the chief administrator budget. I'm a fan of saying Antrim County instead of County of Antrim, things like that, but generally that's it. I think we also changed it from a 2-year accounting experience to 3-year. But other than that, it's mostly just small changes. Just language.
Brad, can I bother you to put where your input in on the having the finance director underneath the administrator? What
Yeah,
your
I
thoughts are?
mean, it can make sense, and that's how most they report to an admin. Yeah, moving forward, my new role will report to a city manager, so, yeah.
Thank you.
The county board wouldn't be involved in interviewing for this position.
Not as a whole. It would be similar to other department heads where 1 or 2 are invited to become the chair or his proxy and up to 1 other.
When I saw this, my only I love having 2 completely unbiased opinions. And not so Jeremy, that's my question, you know, is would this negatively affect the ability for us to have 2 persons in the room that we know are going to give us they're going to give it to us straight because they answer directly to us.
I guess I would answer that back with, you've met the department heads I've met. Has any one of them given you the impression that I was puppeting them? Because they stand on their own. I want them to stand on their own. I want to give their own opinion. If I disagree with it, we either work through it or we disagree, and the board's aware of that. I'm not interested in somebody that pushes my opinions. Unlike other department heads, I do still want this role to speak directly to the board. Generally speaking, the department heads work through me. But with this role, and I laid that out for you as well, is that I would still expect them to do a fair amount of direct reporting to the board.
Questions? That was moved by Terry, seconded by Jairus.
We have a roll call.
Absolutely. Vicky, can we get a roll call on this, please?
Sure. Commissioner Howard,
yes.
Commissioner Van Alstern,
Yes.
Commissioner Scola,
Yes.
Commissioner Rubin,
Yes.
Commissioner Heflin.
Yes. Thank you, Vicky.
You're welcome.
Moving on, county administrator's report. Jeremy, anything you want to point out or any questions one has?
I do want to point out, because this just happened day before yesterday, the bill for the 99th district court was introduced into the Senate and sent to the judicial committee. Good.
Go ahead, Harris.
Number two, the 911 communication. Do we have full power there yet? And how is that impacting Central Lake? Is our calls?
We have
improving?
power.
Okay.
We do not have full power, but it is working as an aspect. I've been kind of half involved because this is a 911 project. I've since started getting a little bit more involved. It's not typical for at least projects out of my office to drag along this way, but a lot of moving parts. I'm not blaming 911. I want to make that clear. Yeah, this was a subcontractor that was giving, well, we believe was giving the contractor false information and not getting things done. And so we're made moves to correct that.
And so I haven't specifically asked first responders in Central Lake in the last month, but have you heard any feedback on how calls are there? Or
I haven't, but I can try to get more detail from her.
it just seems like every couple of months I get feedback of, yep, we had a run in Central Lake and we got there and we were in the dead zone again. So
Terry may actually, on the 911 board, has it come up at all?
Right,
Oh,
right.
no, I'm sorry, right.
Yeah.
Sorry, I apologize.
Yeah, well, I was out of town yesterday, so I just wasn't able to attend the 911. Along with a couple other people, but that was discussed the last time and about the dead zone in Central Lake and yeah, there's really no resolution to it right now.
So we are working on it. I know it's been a long process, long process, I think, in the several years category. But we are right on the precipice.
Antrim County Commission on Aging, the BC Pizza, has that been signed? Is that in effect or where are we at? Yeah. And I saw in our report, there were 4 dining out. 4 people dined out in the last month, I guess.
I think there's more than that.
Well, that's just what the report
Yeah.
said, but
I
I
think
was just
there's more
curious
than
if
that.
that was
Yeah,
first
East
ones on
Jordan.
that or.
East Jordan, Boyne City and Bel Air are all on the BC Pizzas are all on the dining outs. They should have a menu. They probably already have the menu out and available, so that will be taking effect. And I know that Paul is looking at adding a couple more restaurants to that. She's actively going after that, trying to get some more places to do that, so.
And did they decide, they were talking about how many times a month or how many times a week they could utilize that? Has that been clarified?
I think there's coupons for, you buy the coupon for $4 or something, and then the Commission on Aging has a grant to offset the other money for it. So I imagine it depends on how many coupons the person buys and what he can use and how many the grant works, and I haven't had that information.
I've been asked about it and I don't,
Yeah.
and I don't know, so.
Have them contact Paula.
And Jeremy, anyways, thanks to Stephanie. I don't think I've seen our employment opportunities list as short as
Yeah,
it is. I mean, so.
Sure.
Yeah, it's getting there. So, but anyways. Okay, anything else, Jeremy? Brad?
Yep, so last meeting, I had mentioned the Marine Patrol discontinuing. I think during that meeting, I said that they're reopening it, but redos. The email from BNI was bad, and I did respond that we're still interested. Other than that, the audit, will be complete by the end of the month. We have a draft for, final. We're waiting on, final approval for Meadowbrook, and then we can get the rest of the reports filed. The qualifying statement, continuing disclosure, then sent out, retirement report is as much as I can get done until we finish. So, yep.
Thanks, Brad. Any questions, Brad?
Just one.
Yep.
Brad, in the time that you've been here, you've taken our county's finance department and moved it light years ahead. And I would like to commend you for all of the hard work and effort you put into your job. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I think, yes, and I'm sure we all share the same sentiment, Brad. I appreciate everything you've done over the last number of years, helping certainly me and I think all of us. And so I wish you nothing but the best in your future endeavors. I don't have anything to report, any various matters, right? I don't have any cares.
Yeah, I guess this is for Jeremy again on the building department. We sold more permits this year than last year, but our revenue is lower. Do you know why that is?
Permits are not a straightforward thing. The building permits, for instance, are based on square footage. So that's entirely.
And then the follow-up question is on the in our report, it's on page 27, the soil erosion department report. Just wondering, says we sold 21 permits in May. Is that going along pretty well and
It
pretty
seems to be,
normal, or?
I've heard a lot of positive remarks from the interactions that have been happening. Brad, our Visto, our soil erosion officer, is very diligent person, good with customer service. I'm very happy with the direction things are moving.
Thank you.
Anything else?
Nothing, good to go.
That's it? Jason?
Thank you.
Any last public comment tonight? Thank you all for joining us. Appreciate it. Okay, we're adjourned by the chair. Thank you. I'm sorry. Absolutely. My apologies. We're not adjourned. Yes, sir.
Well, it's certainly been entertaining. It's better than anything that.
Could you, if you would be so kind as to keep the microphone, then people can hear you online as well. Thank you.
I didn't know this was on.
Yeah.
Could I restart the time?
Go ahead.
Well, first of all, I'd like to congratulate Commissioner Jarris on stopping the vote on whether to put it in front of the voters. There's a big push that we have to vote on it now, we have to vote on it now. But we insisted on getting the exact language. I think that was just an underhanded attempt to ram it through. It's like signing a blank check. So congratulations, Charles, for sticking to your guns. And now we got you for it on that. There's a lot of reasons. Oh, the language has been collected, by the way, from Power. There's a lot of resistance to putting this in front of the voters because it's going to take time. It's going to add $500,000 to the cost of the project. In the same breath, we're pushing to get drawings for $500,000. So it's a big concern for the voters might add cost to the project, but there isn't any concern about going ahead with the drawings at $500,000. I mean, this is not approved. It's not funded. It's not approved. It's voted down. And shame on the whole bunch of you for going ahead with this without the voters' approval. And of course, something like this has to go on the ballot. But people that are going to be forced to pay for it should have a say in how our money's spent. So I don't know if I'm moving my time, but
Yeah, not yet.
Oh,
Well, you'll hear a buzzer.
okay. Well, I'm out of gas anyways, but that's right.
Thank you very much. Sorry, I don't want to miss anybody else. Is there any other public comment? Going once, going twice. Now we're adjourned by our chair. Thank you again, folks.